So next up on the Syntakt video series, what we're going to look at is the FX page and the routing. So what we need to do is we are going to just press the FX button. This brings us up to a completely new menu which is within the Syntakt. So once we press this button, we will notice these buttons here are a yellowish color, and what these are is giving us different options to use within the FX block. So the trigger page, it just works like a normal track would. So if I just come out of that and I go back onto this track, you'll notice that some of these parameters are more or less the same. So what we have in this is we have the length, the probability, LFO T, filter T, and amp T. So what these three down here, what these are, so the LFO T, the LFO triggers control of the LFO will be triggered or not. So the LFO T, the LFO TRIG controls the LFO if it will be triggered or not. Filter T controls if the envelope will be triggered or not. And amp T, amplify trigger, will control the FX track envelope if it will be triggered or not. Heading over to the synth page, all we have here at the moment is a drive button. This is just a master drive, maybe just to glue that track together a bit. Filter page, we can have a filter, and also as envelope delay on page 2. There's no second filter. We've also on here got attack, decay, sustain, release, filter, resonance, different types of filter, and envelope. So the different types of filter are low pass 4, low pass 2, band pass 2, high pass, notch 1, notch 2, low pass notch, and off. So on the first page of the amp page, we have the settings of attack, hold, decay, depth, delay sends, reverb sends, pan, and volume. To get onto the second page, all we do is press the amp button again. So on the second page, we have this button here. It's amp envelope reset, which you can have it turned on or off. And we have 3 different modes. So the first mode is attack, hold, and decay negative, attack, hold, decay positive or normal, and then an ADSR or attack, decay, sustain, release. So on the attack, decay, sustain, release, what we have now is you can see we have an attack, decay, sustain, and release instead of the depth. But as we change it back to AHD and AHD negative, we have the attack, hold, decay, and then we have a depth. On the LFO page, we have a total of 2 LFOs. We can switch between them by pressing this button here, and we can also set the destination as up in this one. This is the exact same as it is on the machines, the digital machines and the analog machines. To select a destination, the destinations are just a bit different. We can set the destination to either delay, reverb, external input, filter, or amp. The settings are the exact same as they are on the machine pages. So to route a sound into the FX block, we can either do it one of 2 ways. We can hold function and press the FX block. This will then allow us to choose which track we want to route into the FX block. Or alternatively, if we exit that and we pick a track number, we can then go to the amp page, go on to page 2, and then it's this button here. We can either route our audio into the FX block or we can bypass it. So an example on how to use the FX block would be as follows. So what I have is I have a kick, I also have a bass, which is just a bit too loud, and all the pattern is this. So what I want to do with that is I want to route this bass sound into the effects block, and I want it to sidechain when the kick is triggered. So to do that, hold function and then click on the effects button, route this track into the effects block, go onto the effects page by pressing the effects button, head over to this mode, which is the trigger buttons. I can either manually enter the notes in as the kick is played, or I can travel back to the kick track, head into the sequencer, hold function and then copy the track, head back over to the FX block, go back into the sequencer and then function paste. And what that does is it pastes them steps that are on the kick track. So now when the track is playing, what it will do is, or the envelope will shape itself to what is triggering. So as you can see, that is the AHD, attack or hold decay, that is the positive one. But to change that over, we just go over to the AHD minus and then also within the effects block, once we have a track that is routed into the effects block, so for example, tracks number 10 and 11, you will notice on these tracks, the level meter is dashed. Whereas if we take it off and we go back to that, now the level meter is solid. This just shows that that track is routed into the effects block. So that's it for the effects block. I hope you've enjoyed this video regarding this section, and I will see you in the next one.